The hair.
The mic is really low. What picture? Oh, yeah.
No, keep it. We should have like a background that people look at. Cause I know iDubbbz does a thing where every new episode he has like a background,
What
like
do you
a
mean?
screen. Like he has in the background he has 2 monitors, and his background is like something that represents the episode he's making, I guess. So we don't have to do it to represent anything, but we could just have a funny picture up or something.
Like the picture of the blonde girl?
Yeah, that could be the picture this week.
Alright. Well, that is our picture. But anywho, this is the first non-live stream episode of B Talks a Lot. Episode 5? 4?
It's not 4.
It's not. Why?
It's probably 6. Cause I was here for, this is my 3rd or 4th. This is like my 3rd, I think.
And I did one show without you.
You did.
And I did 2 shows without you.
Yeah.
So it's 5.
Oh, it is.
It's episode 5 of B Talks a Lot. Hello. I have the Chewy to my Chelsea Handler, the Andy Richter to my Conan, Finn.
Handle.
Handle.
Oh, I should have said, I was playing Fallout New Vegas and I named my character Finn Le Mysterioso.
Finn Le Mysterioso?
Yeah, so that's kind of what I want to be.
That's your
that's
new
what I want to be now. Yeah.
Finn Le Mysterioso. I dig it. Okay, so this week we will not have... See, last time when I did it, we didn't have... Like, no one was watching.
Yeah.
At all.
And no one's
going
to be watching this whole time.
So, we're just going to have to go with it.
Who was on last week? Or
Jade.
last time? Jade?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was pretty cool. Jade talks a lot, actually.
Talks a lot more than you?
She has the ability to, yeah. Can you pass me my water bottle? I ate a lollipop today and my mouth hurts. Thank you. So, wow, what are we going to talk about? Can we talk about Halloween? What?
Do you think we should put on a record
in
the background?
You want to put on a record in the background?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I move the mic over to me? I'll give you that.
Okay. Finn's gonna do a record. Anywho, I'm gonna talk about Halloween while Finn does that. My Halloween was pretty great considering the fact that I was walking around in an old lady mask. What?
Are we allowed to put their records in?
Yes.
We are. Okay.
And I was walking around in an old lady mask and a hula skirt. I didn't have pants on part of the day. Then I put pants on because it was cold. I didn't have a shirt on all day, but it was good. Like, a lot of people looked at me. It was quite interesting. I personally enjoyed it. Because this one girl in my class, she took pictures of me, like, during class, and it was cool. I had some issues with Halloween, though. Some stuff went down on Halloween. There was an occurrence, an argument of sorts, on my favorite holiday. So that was a downer, but my Halloween was generally good.
This is good, though. I don't think it will feel like listening to it. Do you know who Marvin Gaye is?
I know who Marvin Gaye is.
I was going to put on Death Cab for Cutie. This is really good.
Finn is talking about Marvin Gaye. If you can't hear him, he's trying to figure out if he's going to put on this Marvin Gaye record. But he's not done looking.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of stuff to choose. Oh, what do we have here? I don't want to listen to it, but
you know we're not going to be able to hear it, right?
Are you sure? Like, there's no speakers that we could just play in the background and they can listen through that?
I don't even know how we set this up so, like, it plays in the background at all.
Well, this should go on there.
We're trying to figure this out. I see the record spinning. What?
Is anything fine?
Wait.
We should definitely do this before lunch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright, I won't worry. Oh.
Well, we tried. We tried to have a record playing in the background. Finn is really good at records, apparently. I would never know how to actually handle a record.
Grab it like this. Try not to touch the center of it because they're very sensitive and it gets a lot of dust on it. Like, if there's a speck of dust on it, it could crack or scrape a record, and then a record would like skip or like replay. That's skipping. It's just not too good.
Alright. Anyway, Halloween was cool. The security guards in the building, they were like, the day after Halloween, they were like, "Oh, where's the old lady? What'd you do with the old lady?" Because, like, I really looked like an old lady, and they didn't let me into the building at first. Because they were like, "You're going to have to take off the mask." And I was like, "Oh, no, here's my ID." And then they saw my ID, and I guess they're like, "Oh, it's you, okay." What? You didn't dress up. You don't understand the vibe. It was so weird. You would think that I would see, like, we live near a school, like a little kid's school. You would think I would see a lot of little kids dressed up. No, I didn't. It felt like, have you been watching Stranger Things?
No, not the new season.
Okay.
I mean, I've watched the first 2 episodes.
Is the Halloween episode in there? Okay, so...
Oh, wait, when they went to the school and nobody was dressed up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like, if you've seen the new season of Stranger Things, if you haven't, spoiler, it's not really a spoiler.
Doesn't matter.
It's not really like a big, there's no plot twist in this. But it feels like when the kids of Stranger Things are going to school on Halloween, they're dressed up as the Ghostbusters, and no one else is dressed up, and Dustin goes, he's like, "This must be a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy, I tell you." Because no one else is dressed up, and they look like geeks. And that's how I felt yesterday, because I didn't see anybody dressed up. And then when I did see people dressed up, it was like lame costumes, like, oh, they just, like, kind of put on a random mask.
I saw some kids trick-or-treating, and I don't know Dustin as Dustin.
I know you don't know Dustin as Dustin.
No, but I did see some kids dressing up. Like, I went out to eat with a friend of mine while we were doing homework, and kids here, they come into restaurants and stores to trick-or-treat, too.
That's wild.
That is wild.
I wonder what it must be like being a kid growing up in New York. Like, I truly want to know.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause they do everything so differently. I mean, you know, how old are they when they ride the subway by themselves?
Yeah, I know. There's a little girl when I was heading home with my mom. Like a little girl, probably around 5, was walking around the street by herself. Like,
and she just looked like normal, like she didn't look lost
didn't,
or anything?
She didn't act like it. She just walked like a normal person. She was just, I don't know. I mean,
that's wild.
You know.
A little kid like that?
Yeah.
That's kind of terrifying.
Mhm.
Also, another thing I can talk about, Finn, you weren't around for this, but I'm sure you know about this. Did I talk to you about my broken tooth?
No, I have no clue.
You didn't know that happened?
No, my girlfriend told me. She's like, "What happened to B's tooth?" I was like, "I don't know." I saw your story. I was gonna ask you, but I was like, I'll find out this week.
So basically, what happened, and this story is for everyone, not just Finn, but basically what happened is I have really bad teeth, so I've gotten a few root canals done, which means I have caps. So my actual teeth are dead, and they're shaved down like a tree stump, like they cut the tree stump, and they put a cap over it, and the cap looks like a tooth, and it's made of porcelain.
So what? Then, like, underneath the cap, your tooth looks what? Disgusting?
It doesn't look disgusting. It looks like a tree chunk or something. Like it's like
It's
if they
like
were
yellow
to put.
and like black.
No, it's not. It looks like a tooth, but it's like a tree stump kind of thing. Like if they were to take a tree stump and put like a tree over that.
They shaved it to look like a stump?
Yeah, basically. They shaved it down so it's just like enough of a tooth for a cap to be placed on and glued to.
I didn't know that's how they do it.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
And it's a dead tooth, so you don't feel it.
Did you get your wisdom teeth out?
Yeah, freshman year of high school, I got 7 teeth removed, all 4 of my wisdom teeth and 3 of my back molars. I only have 1 back molar left.
Were you awake for any of them?
It was surgery. Like,
so you were put to sleep?
Yeah, it was like real surgery. Like I had to be put to sleep. I was on drugs. Like,
yeah, I was awake for my wisdom teeth removal, and I actually felt them. Like I actually felt a little bit of pain, and they numbed me. They couldn't numb me anymore. Like they numbed me to the max, and it was so weird feeling them crush my teeth up and like hearing that. It was so loud. It was like.
I don't
it's
even
exactly
know
what
they
you think
do.
it'd sound like. They crush your tooth. Like they were trying to crush it up to a bare minimum, but it was still hard for them. Like they were like, this tooth is so hard to pull, and I felt them yanking and tugging. It was so uncomfortable. Ugh. They like chop it up. They chop the gum up, too. They chop the gum up, and then they start breaking apart the tooth and pull out everything inside of there.
No, mine, like, I had all 7 teeth removed at the same time. They had to, like, and it's on both sides of my mouth. They had to.
What if it's, like, all your bottom teeth?
Oh, yeah.
That's, like...
But basically, I have the cap, and, I know my 2 front caps weren't done right, or they're messed up because, like, there's a gap between my gum and the cap.
Yeah.
Which there's not supposed to be because bacteria can get in there and it can get infected. So they've been bothering me, but I was just gonna go to the dentist like this weekend actually. That's why I'm going home this weekend. I've been planning this for weeks. And what happened was my roommate ordered Chinese, but instead of like looking around at different Chinese places, she just saw the first one and it was super cheap. And, like, it was the type of place that passed off white rice as brown rice. But I guess the rice was hard, and I bit into it, and it broke my cap. And the cap, because it's glued to my tooth, it's cemented, actually, to the tooth. I mean, they can remove it. There's special stuff. There's always special stuff to, like, get that kind of thing out, you know? But it cemented to my tooth, and without the solvent you can't get the tooth off, so it broke my tooth. Like the cap was fine because it's porcelain. But like it broke my tooth, so basically I still had a little bit of tooth, but not enough to put a new cap on.
Did it hurt?
No, because it's dead. Remember?
Well,
they removed the roots of it. That's
right,
what root
but I
canal
mean,
is.
I don't know.
Yeah, and now they have to completely pull the root. Well, okay, they don't pull the roots for a root canal. They kind of like cut the nerve and kill them. Like if you were to pull a weed kind of thing, like or I don't know, if you were to cut a weed or something like that. I don't know. It's dead in my mouth. That's all. So I can't feel any pain with it. But what has to happen now is they have to completely pull whatever left there, like whatever tooth left there is. Does that make sense? Whatever kind of tooth,
like the fragments still.
Yeah, the fragment that's left now from being broken, because there's something. It's like a teeny tiny little thing. Like basically, when you have a root canal done, it's kind of like they leave a chiclet kind of size. You know what chiclet is? It's like the little gum candies that are like tiny squares. You know what I'm talking about? Do you have your phone?
I can think. I think I can figure out what it is.
It's basically there. It. I have to show you because it's not. I don't know how you don't know what.
Oh, you said a tiny cube. Ugh.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you. So basically, these things. Have you ever seen these?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's like that kind of thing, but sticking out of your gum, and that's the tooth after a root canal. But because it broke, it was basically like nothing. But there was still something there. So they have to pull that out completely.
Yeah.
And then for the surgery that I'm going to have to get so I am not toothless, I'm going to have to get an implant, which basically means that they are going to, I think, like, I don't know what the process, I don't know if it's like screwing something into my jaw or nailing something into my jaw, but they're implanting a new fake tooth that's like super strong stuff into my jaw. Like it's a surgical procedure. So that's going to happen. But it's pretty weird because I'm 19 years old and I don't have a real front tooth in my mouth. And if I'm being honest, I know that the other side is probably going to be bad too because this one has been bothering me, which means that there's something wrong under the cap. So the tooth might have to go too.
When is this getting done?
I have to go to the dentist and find out. So I went to an emergency dentist, like they only take emergencies here in the city, and he could have done the implant. But because he's an emergency dentist, it costs more, plus it's in New York, and plus he doesn't take my insurance.
Yeah.
So my mom had to pay out of pocket for him to do a temporary, which basically means that he took a block of, it's called composite, but it's basically a block of clay. He put it in between my teeth, and he sculpted a tooth for me. And then he dried the clay in my mouth, and I don't know if it's cement. I think it's cement. It feels like cement. He cemented it he glued it. It's a special glue. But to the two teeth next to that, so my left front tooth and the canine on that side, but like he had to do it tight so the clay won't fall out or break or anything. And there's a pressure in my mouth really bad. Like I keep like touching my teeth and like pushing at them because like I can feel all of like my front teeth here being pushed together, and it doesn't hurt, but there's like this constant pressure. And it just, like, it's like when you have a sinus infection and, like, you feel the pressure in your head. You don't have a headache, but you feel the pressure, and you're like, damn, I don't like this.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like in my mouth.
All the time?
Yeah. I'm hoping that they can do this, like, soon. I mean, I've only missed, like, one class from every class that was from every class except my Tuesday classes that was unexcused. And if it's a doctor's note, I can get excused, so if it can be done like next week, I will totally not come back to New York next week and just get this done.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's gonna stink.
Yeah. Especially, like, it's just sucky because of the fact that I'm 19 and I don't have a front tooth. Like, it was, because could you imagine, like, we're the same age. Do you imagine, like, someone just knocking out your tooth or something, and you just don't have a real front tooth anymore for the rest of your life?
Well, you already don't have one.
I know I already don't have one. I'm saying, can you imagine?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't care as long as my tooth looked alright.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. It's just like...
I feel pretty cool. I'd be like...
Yeah.
But then I'd feel bad because obviously I did something to make my tooth. You know.
See, I was really upset about it, and I talked to my mom, and she's like, well, you know, when you were a kid, you didn't want to brush your teeth, and it's like, thanks, Mom, that doesn't help me right now.
When you were a kid, oh, I hate that. But I know what she means.
It's like, thanks. reminded me of my bad self as a child. That really makes
You
me
want to
feel
brush
better.
your teeth. Yeah, I haven't gotten a root canal, but I've had a lot of fillings.
Oh, like cavities? Yeah. I've also had a lot of those.
Mhm.
I've had it, like, not everything, but, like, I've had a good amount of things. Which, I don't just have bad teeth. You know how I always say I have a tongue thing, where I can't really have acidic foods?
Really?
And Nick, yeah, I said it to Nick once, and he was like, really, you didn't tell me this?
Well, I'm gonna say the same thing.
Okay, so basically I have this thing, and I just say acidic foods because I think it starts to act up with acidic foods, but I have this thing called geographic tongue.
Yeah.
And geographic tongue is basically when your tongue makes these pretty shapes on itself, and it looks like you burnt your tongue. But it's not. It's just your tongue randomly going raw. But it hurts because your tongue is constantly like going raw and growing back and getting raw and growing back. So, and it's like in different spots,
Can I
and it
see?
moves, and it's not constant. I don't know if it's happening right now. I have to check.
So wait, if it's what I think it is, doesn't it look like cuts on the tongue or something like that?
No, that's not what it is. I have it right now, but you can't really tell. So I'm going to show you an internet picture, because my tongue does get like this.
Oh, you want me to come over?
You see like this, where it looks really burnt?
Oh shit.
Yeah. And like, but some people think of like this, because the shapes. And like, yeah, it does make pretty shapes sometimes, but it hurts.
I've seen people's tongues who just looks like they have like gashes in them, like they're splitting apart.
Yeah, that's something else I have problems with that too.
You do?
Sometimes. Not really bad. But like, this is just, it was funny though, cause like, I self-diagnosed myself with this about 2 years ago.
You were right.
And yeah, and no one believed me. They were like, oh no, you don't have that. Like, oh, now you're just making more stuff up that you have.
I know.
And then I went to the dentist, and I was like, do you think this is geographic tongue? And
It's
first
like,
of all,
yep.
well, yeah, I mean, when I was going to the dentist at first, like, it wasn't happening because it's not consistent. It only happens sometimes, but when it happens a lot, and it hurts really bad. But when I went to the dentist and I described it, because I didn't have it, he, like, didn't believe me. And then, I went to the dentist and I had it, and I told him about it, and then he told me that it sounds like geographic tongue, it looks like geographic tongue. The only thing is that mine hurts, so it probably isn't geographic tongue. And then I just went to this emergency dentist for this, and I talked to him, and this guy teaches at NYU. So, like, I'm going to take his opinion over somebody in a little town in New Jersey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, being a professor, at least a medical professor at New York University.
So he lives right?
He teaches right across the street from our dorm.
Is that the dentist you went to?
Yep.
Oh.
No, well, I didn't go there. No, I didn't go in there. I could have gone in there, but it would have taken a long time because that's a teaching, like, dentist office kind of thing.
Wow, it's a small world.
Yeah, but he teaches right in that building, I think on Thursdays. Today.
Go say hi.
But yeah, he said, oh no, like, he looked at my tongue and he's like, does it move? Like, not like, it's not alive, but like, does it move? Like, it's not always in the same spot. And I'm like, yeah, it moves. And he's like, okay, so he's like, do you know what that is? And I was like, geographic tongue. He's like, yep. And I was like, well, it hurts. Is that normal? And he's like, yeah, because your tongue is going raw. And then it grows back, and then it goes raw again. Yeah, it hurts. But it's like, it's a thing that they don't really know anything about. They don't know what causes it. They don't know how to fix it. It's just kind of, and it's benign. So it's not like, I don't have like a tumor that's making this happen. It's just happening.
Probably happens like after you get 7 teeth pulled.
No, it didn't happen immediately after that, but I have no idea what causes it. I used to think that it was like acidic foods or like soda or sugar, but are you... Finn just put on a mask. Finn is wearing a Jack Skellington mask. I feel like Jack Skellington sometimes because I love Halloween.
You want to wear it?
I don't know. Will it go?
What do you mean?
With my outfit.
What?
Okay, now I'm wearing a Jack Skellington mask. Wow. Wow. That is not good for talking, though. It's not, like... Because I don't sound normal. Do I? Can you
No,
hear
it's
me?
muffled, but yeah, I can hear you. I can definitely hear you.
Well, I'm loud.
And you talk a lot.
I talk a lot. That's the whole premise of the show.
Have you forgotten? You should really print some posters.
You should.
Well, this room is so cool. The radio show is so cool, guys.
It really is.
It's
love
the best.
Oh, alright, you see that one thing that somebody put up where it's like the pixelated, like,
Yeah.
nude kind of thing? Okay, so I was walking, for my class today, photo workshop, we have the second half as critique. But he gave us this assignment, we had to go out, and they have books out on the second floor of, like, senior portfolios. And, like, this SVA, like, pays for seniors to get 2 books made of their portfolios. One the school keeps and one that the student gets to take after they graduate. So we were looking through those, but I walked past a class that was being taught by a professor that I also have. And I'm walking past the class and I glance in and there's like pictures of this guy playing basketball nude. And I was like, wow, I love art school. That's... Where else
You walked
can
into
you
the
see
class?
that? No, I didn't walk into the class, but they have glass doors on the second floor, so like you can just look in. So I just saw that and I was like, what the fuck?
Do you have a Sharpie?
Currently? Why?
So I want to write B talks a lot on the door.
Yeah, the bag I carried, and it's in the front pocket. I'm going home to New Jersey tonight for my dentist appointment, and also because when I was in high school, I was in a play, and the kids that were in the play, I mean, they're not, like, there were freshmen in the play, but I'm talking about, like, the sophomores. The sophomores that were in the play, they are doing a play for their senior year, which is this year. And they're doing a play this weekend, so I'm going down. I'm going to see that. Super excited. Can't wait to see Peter Pan. So yeah, I'm going to the dentist on Friday. I'm going to hang out with my cousin, whose birthday it is today. If you listen in, well, it's not a live stream, but if you listen, G, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And me and G are going to hang out. I'm going to go to the dentist. It's going to be a good time. Saturday, I'm going to see that play. I'm going to see my dad. And Sunday, I'm coming back here. So, yeah, because Sunday I'm coming back unless there's emergency dental surgery. But Monday, I am
Is this the only one?
doing... Yeah, I only have blue.
Okay.
Monday, I have to do homework because for writing lit, we have to do a video of a soliloquy from Hamlet, and she assigned the groups, and she assigned the soliloquies. So I'm going to be memorizing lines this weekend, too. But yeah, soliloquy project on Monday. Super pumped. I got assigned to work with this one girl, Sarah. She's good at videos and stuff. She's good at photography, but she's good at videos and stuff. and like studio stuff. So super pumped. Also got assigned to work with one of the kids from the animation side of school who transferred into my writing lit class. So hopefully she will give us new perspective, especially since she's the only one who really understands Hamlet. Or yeah, I think she understands. She acts like she understands. Did you write B Talks a lot? Oh my god, I love it. So yeah, Finn is writing on the door right now. We've been going for a half hour.
Already?
Mm-hmm.
I hear my drop picture.
Okay.
But your Sharpie feels like it's running out.
Alright, well, I have more Sharpies. It's just not with me. Geez, what could I tell? Oh, today, because I had my... Can I hold this? I'm going to hold it. Today, I had my darkroom class, right? So, we had to make prints, because we always have to make prints. And I made this one print, and it just wouldn't go right. But it was fine, because the TA helped me. TA is attractive. So, that was fun. I enjoyed that. That sounds creepy. I don't mean it to be creepy. The TA helped, but, like, nothing. Like, she just watched what I did, and then she realized what I was trying to explain, and, she helped explain to the professor that I'm not crazy. The photo just will not dodge. So that happened. But I made a print of a dog that wouldn't dodge, and then I made a print of this sign that I took a picture of with a point and shoot, no less. And it actually came out super dope. I really like it because everything is basically black. There's some tones in there, different shades of black. But everything's basically black except the lettering on the sign. So it was really cool. I really liked it. It's for Lunette's. No, that is Beats Place. Oh, jeez. It's for Lexington Candy Shop Cafe something. But it's on Lexington. It was really cool. I personally really liked the print. I liked it so much that I printed it like 10 times because I was like, I'm going to give this to my grandma and my mom and my dad. And I'm going to keep it. And also I had already taken the paper out. And it's not like you can't put the paper back in. I was just lazy. So I made 2 prints, and then I did an essay that was due for the second half of that class. So basically that means that I went on my phone and typed up this essay, but you can't use your phone in the darkroom. So what did I do? I sat in the little cubby hole beneath the enlarger. And I gotta tell you, it wasn't that bad. I didn't mind. I could sit there for a while. It was not bad at all. So I wrote my essay. And yeah, and I cleaned up my stuff, and then after I did my essay, I dried my stuff, and then I went to the library and printed my essay. So, I mean, it wasn't that bad. But I did use a lot of paper today, so there's that. But, paper's paper. Well, photographic paper's special. But anyway, do you know what photographic paper is, friends? Photographic paper is paper that, like film, can get exposed to light and be fucked up. So instead, you can't use it in the light until you develop on it. And it's like, you have to use an enlarger and all this stuff. I'm sorry, I got 2 hours of sleep last night. I stayed up, and I stayed up until 5:40ish, maybe later. and I passed out. And I mean, I was like laying down, but like I was on my phone, and I passed out. And I woke up at like 6:30. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a nap until 8:30. And then I did. And then I just kept taking naps until I got up at 10:50 to take a shower for my 12 o'clock class. I was late to class. But, you know what, it's fine. I didn't get a lot of sleep, though. So, I'm tired. Last night... Oh, Finn, you know what? You'd be interested in this.
What's up?
In the bag, you don't have to get it out if you don't feel like it. But in my bag is my book. You know my book, right? The journal I write in frequently. Yeah. I put stuff in there that I kind of want to show you, but you don't have to get it if you don't want to. But I've been, you know how I draw those ghosts?
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, people, I draw ghosts. They're like my little therapy. I put little comments next to the ghosts, like the ghosts have sayings and stuff. I don't know. Sometimes they're poetic. Sometimes they're just me being like, why can't you grow up? Or people suck. But, you know, last night, though, during my time of no sleeping, Finn, were you listening that I didn't sleep? Okay. Finn is having a good time drawing, because we're allowed to draw on the door, as long as it's not inappropriate. So Finn's having a good time. Last night, because for Halloween, I came up with this ghost, and it's like a regular ghost, but then next to it, it says, I only feel normal on Halloween, and only is underlined. So I got these little cards from Muji the other day. They're not that big. They're smaller than an ID, maybe the size of an ID. But they're like cardstock. And they're actually for like notes and stuff. But I drew my ghost on there, and I did the thing, and I colored it with an orange pen. And I think it looks really cool. I'm proud of myself. I made art. Took me a while to get it right, because, Finn, you work with ink, so, you know that if you don't use the ink correctly or the proper pen, it'll bleed and it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
So, especially on different paper. So, I had a hard time. But once I got it down, it was good. And then I made another one of a different ghost. A more poetic one. I just flipped through my book and found one. It says, my heart chose you, but the my and the you are underlined. And it's based off of something my friend wrote or posted one time. And, I don't know. It was something. They put something similar, and I was inspired, so I made the ghost. But it was... I did it, so the card is half red and half blue. I don't know. Oh, you're gonna get it out?
Yeah.
My book, it's in the big pocket. It might be tucked behind something.
Okay,
Yeah, that. Ooh.
Let's see what I drew on the door later. There's
All right.
a guy with a cigarette, though. That shouldn't be bad, right?
No, that with a cigarette is not inappropriate.
That's a girl, actually.
Oh, it's a girl?
Yeah.
It's still not.
Well, you know what? No gender for this one.
So,
I drew Finn.
you drew, your big little character dude?
No, I
Or
drew
you?
Finn.
Oh, you put Finn.
No,
Then what?
I drew Finn.
You drew a Finn?
You can see what Finn I'm talking about when you come over.
Okay.
He's a human.
Oh, alright. Oh! Jake the dog and Finn the human. Okay. These are my ghosties.
Yeah.
Well, they're not. I'm gonna put it on. What's it called? On SoundCloud, so they're not gonna see it. That's why I'm showing you.
Business cards?
They're. I don't know what they are.
You should like scan them and print them and like write business cards with like a ghost on it and then hand them out to people and I'm serious.
It would be cool.
Business cards are the real deal.
But I was proud of myself. I love my only talent, ghosts. My book is kind of like you can tell that I put it through a lot. Like in only a month, I've only been using this for a month. Finn, do you want to talk for a little bit so I can look at your drawings?
Oh, yeah.
Because we can't have dead air.
I like to draw. My name is Finn. I came from a faraway land, New Jersey. And I have to move closer to the mic every time I speak.
True. And I just had to fix the mic because it fell over. Don't fall over. There it goes. Okay.
I also like to draw.
You said that already.
I also talk a lot.
Okay.
I look at outside the window and I see people getting changed in the distance.
No, you don't.
And it's a sight to see.
This would be a cool place to take pictures from, like, because of that building.
Yeah. I wish this, like, I wonder if we can turn the lights off for a second. Wait, what does that switch do? Maybe it turns off, like, the computer.
I don't know.
Alright, whatever. I, do like to talk a lot, as a matter of fact.
We can tell. Even
Um,
Andy Richter does segments by himself sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I am an animation student, and I just started, like, I'm talking as if they don't know. But, yeah, I go here for animation, so it's a tough life. I'm getting used to it. I do love it here, though. You know? Being an adult's cool. Like, living on your own and stuff like that. And, like, just doing adult stuff, I guess. Maybe not, like,
Real
not excited
adult
for
stuff?
taxes.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff. But,
Who takes taxis?
and, like,
What are
bills
those?
and
What are those?
just money stuff. Financial.
Yeah. I don't feel like a real grown-up, because I know I have, like, a backup.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like, I feel like I have, like, I feel like I mean, we're living and, like, feeding ourselves and everything without our parents around. So, it's not like we're still babies.
Exactly.
But,
We're
like,
living,
if something were to happen...
everyone goes through this, you know? We're not supposed to be full-fledged adults yet. I mean, we could if we really wanted to be. But...
Or if our parents didn't like us.
yeah. I mean, I mean, yeah. I can't be here without my parents. It's money.
Finn is like, my parents love me.
I can't.
And
they
that's
didn't
why
love
I'm
me-
alive.
If they didn't love me, I wouldn't love myself.
Jeez, Finn, that's depressing. Oh, I have a fun thing to share. Jesus, I shared it on Snapchat, but I have a fun thing to share. I like holding the mic.
Oh, did you like what I drew?
Yeah, I did. I always like... Finn always has the coolest drawings, and they're not, like... You don't think of him as an animation person when you see his drawings, but at the same time, it's like, I could see that on, like, Adult Swim or something. I like it.
Yeah. I think... You know what? I used to want to... Like, I'll do whatever job for any network for the most part, but I think if I were to make something for myself, I'd rather work independently or start up a studio or company of my own. In the end.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know. There's a lot of restrictions, and not that I want to be uncensored, which I do. I don't really agree with censorship, but like I want to be able to write and produce whatever I really want to, I guess. With like a team of good people that really understand and like and I want to help them become like if I were to make a studio, I want it to be an outlet for them as well, I guess. Cuz if I were to make a studio, I can't have just one
What do you mean?
film or like cartoon. Like what do you I don't know. There's a lot. What do you mean? What do I mean?
Do you want to have more than one cartoon and show?
I want to make my own. I would love to. I would rather do film, I think. Honestly. But cartoons, yeah, those two. But I would like to make a studio, and I'd like to have other people produce within the same studio and stuff like that. I don't know. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And it's all 2D. I don't know if I'd do any 3D.
I've heard a lot of animation students who hate 3D.
I don't hate it, but I think
But like
2D
you guys
is a lot
don't
more.
like it.
I don't even dislike it. I just prefer 2D. I think traditional, and like when your art looks traditional and like there's a good animated feature, like a 2D animated feature, like I understand the hard work put into that kind of stuff. Well, I'm starting to, so I really appreciate it, and especially if the artwork's really good. Like when you watch a really nicely animated feature, like you really envy that person, because they definitely kick their ass to make that. You know.
I always like hearing about animation stuff because, I mean, in photo, everything is so different from the rest of the school.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's vastly different. Like, photo and film majors don't have to take drawing classes. We don't have to take any kind of, like, painting or sculpting like Nick. We don't have to take any of that.
Yeah, same with film.
No, that's why I said photo and film.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. So, it's a lot different. So, I like hearing about, I mean, plus, you guys, I don't know, it's just different. Because when we go over stuff in class, we talk about photographers. We don't talk about cartoons.
Yeah, well.
And I'm not saying cartoons like it's a way to be little.
No, of course.
Like, there are absolutely great cartoons and everything. So, but we don't, like, if we're talking about, like, a photograph or an exhibition, that's different, but we're generally talking about the photographer. We're not talking about, like, oh, this show.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to get on the topic of cartoons real quick, if you don't mind. I have a professor who I really like. He's a great guy. But he's my story pitch teacher. I'm a freshman, by the way. And, I am learning animation. Like, my professor teaches us animation in a way that he gears us towards making film rather than like a cartoon. Because there's different ways to animate this, so it's very realistic and more anatomically, and is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anatomically correct, I guess. And whereas a cartoon is definitely more zany, and you can be more expressive with like, or you can exaggerate a lot of things. It's definitely easier to be a TV to make cartoons and stuff like that. So I'm learning film in my animation class, but my story pitch teacher is more of a cartoon buff. So we're learning more about gag and comedy than like something you'd see in film where it's a little more drama, some action, some suspense, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly like with this class you're getting a lot of like Hanna-Barbera, Looney Tunes type of stuff, you know. Which I appreciate. It's awesome learning this. But I wish it was, because I think a lot of the people in my class would agree that it was a little more, we took something a little more,
What do you mean?
It's like a bigger variety than just comedy, I'd say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's more to animation than just being funny.
Well, creating the story. Story pitches for creating, like, the story, doing storyboards, which is, like, just illustrating what the scene is going to look like, and writing the dialogue, and a very small description about the scene itself. But it's all comedy in that class, and I'd like to learn to write drama and stuff like that. So I'm going to take some electives throughout the years about, like, story pitch. Like, I'm going to take a storyboard elective and a screenwriting elective, Like, that way I could write for almost anything, I'd feel,
I really want to know all the different electives because you can take electives outside your major.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, I absolutely would want to take something because, at least for me, like, and I'm sure you have things like this for you, like, I feel like there are things I'm interested in that aren't going to necessarily be taught to me in photo classes. I mean, maybe, like, they'll teach them in, like, advertising, because I want to know about, granted, advertising isn't necessarily, like, it's still an art school, so, I mean, advertising is really, like, graphic design kind of stuff, but they're still going to have classes in that area that, like, teach you how to use, like, social media in a way that really helps your work, or, like, put yourself out there, and, like, I kind of want to look into that kind of sort of thing, because I think that's, like, a great idea, especially for, like, a photographer, and especially for a photographer who wants to go into, like, the field I want to, because I want to take pictures of celebrities, I want to be, quite literally, I want to be a paparazzi, so, I need to be able to socially, like, market myself and things like that, and I need to know things like that.
Yeah.
So, that's something, but they might not teach that in the photo department because there's a lot of, like, studio classes and fine art classes and things like that that don't really help me because, like, I don't really, for what I'm going to do, I don't really need to know, like, the ins and outs of Photoshop. Sure. And I don't really need to know, like, how to create this beautiful exhibition show thing, because I'm not going to do fine art, and I don't need to really, I mean, I am going to learn Photoshop because it's good to know, but I don't really need to know Photoshop because most of the people who work in the field I want to go into use Lightroom.
I could imagine that, like, as popular as paparazzi, like, the paparazzi is, and how you see it all over the media and stuff like that, I don't think it's something that a lot of people go for as a photographer. I think they're going for something a lot more, because you see photography everywhere.
Yeah.
But specifically, I see a lot of, like, landscape and just, like, something like that encompasses emotion, I suppose, or at least
fine
attempts
art.
to. Yeah, which is, I guess, fine art, as you'd say.
Yeah.
My dad used to be a professional photographer. He says it's a lot of hard work. Like, there's certain parts of it that are, like, really, really, really hard. Where, I don't know. I mean, I could show you some of his stuff sometime. It's like, there's, like, one photograph that's so amazing. It's just, like, it looks like it's almost like a painting without any shadow. Like, he maneuvered all the lights in a certain way to make it so that there was zero shadow, like, zero. Like, I don't know. I just gotta find the picture. I'll take a photo of it.
Okay. I always wait for you to show me your dad's stuff because you talk about it a lot, but you never, like, show me.
He lost.
Just kind of like, well, Finn's dad was a photographer.
He takes great care of his stuff. He doesn't always like me to screw around with it, and he lost a lot of his stuff in Hurricane Sandy. Yeah, he had a dark room that he lost, like one that you could set up, and he lost a lot of his photographs and other stuff like that. He used to run his own business too. He was doing really good for himself in the city.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't. He doesn't like how it went digitally though, because that ruined his career, and it ruined a lot of other photographers of the time as well.
Yeah, because he did film.
Everyone did film.
Well, yeah.
Like in the 70s and 80s and 90s, digital photography was like when he was in his prime, it wasn't relevant basically,
Mhm.
and it was so new that nobody did it.
And now it's like the opposite. Nobody really does film anymore.
Yeah, I love film though. I don't know. I just love vintage stuff like that.
I like vintage stuff, but knowing what goes behind film and everything, now that I've like done it and I've worked with it, I don't really care for it that much.
I'm someone who definitely I like to work hard, but not in the sense that I love the work, but I like the payoff, and I like the feeling I get after working hard for something, because I really appreciate it more.
I mean, I appreciate when I can get a good print in the darkroom and everything, but my issue is that especially because of what career I want, like, film is not
Yeah.
film is not
Oh,
a
no.
good
Yeah, I
way
know.
for me. It's too time consuming.
Mhm.
But also, when I say paparazzi, I do not mean...
Like the annoying kind?
Yeah, paparazzi has a negative connotation, but the term paparazzi literally means someone who takes candid photos of celebrities. It's
a job.
Yeah, but it's not someone who does it without their permission or with their permission necessarily. But I want to be like someone's personal photographer, like their hired paparazzi.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to be like someone who's like scummy, waiting outside of restaurants, like,
Yeah,
oh
that's
yeah,
awful.
Angelina, look this way. Oh, she picked her nose. Like I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's stuff that really ticks them off. Like they purposely try to get on their case.
Yeah, and then I want to be like, all right, you know who Halsey is, the singer?
Yeah.
So Halsey works with this guy. I believe his name is Don. I know his usernames are Don's Lens, but I don't know if his name is Don. So I'm just gonna call him Don, just because that makes sense. Halsey will only work with Don. I mean, other photographers can take pictures of her, and like she has worked with them. But like she was doing a magazine shoot, and generally the magazine hires a photographer. They have people for that. Halsey had Don take pictures of her for the magazine. Halsey always brings Don on tour. When Halsey's doing something, like a promo thing, Don takes pictures.
Damn, that's
Don
awesome.
takes all the pictures for Halsey. Right now, Halsey's dating G-Eazy, so, like, G-Eazy has a couple photographers he works with. He's not as, like, exclusive with them, but he goes through a couple people. But, so his photographers take pictures of her, too, but for Halsey's stuff, Don takes the pictures. Like, I mean, her Instagram has other photographers featured, but it's all, like, Don, basically.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
If you had to choose, like, a celebrity to do that for...
That's a silly question. You know who I love.
I know, is it the girl from...
Fifth Harmony?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to work with her, especially because she herself loves photography, and, like, it would be really nice to work with someone who appreciates it and, like, understands and wouldn't be like, what do you mean you want me to, like, do this? That doesn't make sense. Like, it would be really cool to work with her, and, I mean, she's definitely, like, a top person I'd want to work with, but I actually would really want to work with, like, DJ Khaled. Well, because he's so present on social media, and his, like, the photographer that he works with does work for his whole, like, record label, We the Best.
Yeah.
And, like, that guy is, like, set for life. Like, and I don't want to do it because I'd be set for life, but, like, DJ Khaled is such like, he's a big personality, it wouldn't be hard to take pictures of him. Like, not that it would be hard to take pictures of Lauren, but, like, I don't know. I would love to work with either of them. So, but B Talks a Lot has hit an hour.
How are we over? I assume we're over an hour.
Yeah.
How many minutes?
No, it's just like 16 seconds.
Oh.
I caught it. So we have to close the show, especially because I have a bus to catch.
I love you guys.
I loves you. I love you. All right, this has been episode 5, possibly, of B Talks a Lot, the non-live stream version. So we're gonna stop the recording, and I'm gonna email it to myself. If you see this, if you listen to this, make sure you listen for my next show, Thursdays at 8.
Woo!
On WSVA YouTube. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Bye. Night.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.